Good evening. Welcome to the grades 6 through 4 music program. There is so much excitement in the cafeteria. If you dropped off your children, you know that. So welcome. Please turn off your cell phones, at least silent them so we don't have disruptions. A quick note, after the finale, after all the grades are here, please stay seated until we get all the children off of the stage. The doors out here to the cafeteria will be locked until the last student gets in the cafeteria. We'd really like to make sure we keep track of every student and make sure they go home with the proper parent. So I'd like to thank Mrs. Hart for all the work she has done, and the kids will. This afternoon's rehearsal was amazing. So here's Mrs. Hart.
Thank you so much. We are so excited to sing in front of a full house. This is going to be awesome tonight. As you can see, the name of our show is called Sing a Song of Aesop. This is the book from our library where these Aesop fables are coming from, and the kids are so excited to sing about them and do skits about them. So we hope you enjoy our show, Sing a Song of Aesop.
Aesop lived in Greece over 2,000 years ago.
He was a very talented storyteller.
His timeless tales were written down by a monk in the 14th century.
They are still meaningful today because they teach important lessons about life. How many of these fables do you know? There once was a hare who bragged about how fast she was.
The other animals got tired of hearing her brag, so the tortoise challenged the hare to a race to the oak tree.
The hare and the tortoise stood at the starting line. The bear started the race.
The hare was soon out of sight, but the tortoise walked slowly, step by step.
Since the hare didn't see the tortoise anywhere, she decided to rest by the side of the road.
Soon she fell asleep in the warm sunshine. Meanwhile, the tortoise continued walking slowly. She even passed by the sleeping hare.
Suddenly, the hare woke up and saw that the tortoise was only a few feet away from the oak tree.
When the hare saw the tortoise, she jumped up and ran toward the oak tree. But the other animals were already cheering because the tortoise had already won the race.
The moral of the story is slow and steady wins the race. Or you'll end up in disgrace.
The grasshopper spent her whole summer making music.
She thought the ants were foolish for spending their whole summer making music. She thought the ants were foolish for spending their summer days marching in lines and carrying seeds and grain to store in their hills.
When wintertime came, the grasshopper could find nothing to eat.
She asked the ants for a seed or a leaf to eat, but they said they had nothing to share.
The ants explained they had worked hard for their food while the grasshopper was playing music in the summer.
Now the grasshoppers can dance all winter.
The moral of the story is don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today.
The country mouse worked all day to prepare dinner for... Okay. The country mouse worked all day to prepare dinner for his cousin, the city mouse.
At dinner, the city mouse only ate a few of the peas and bite of bread.
Then she told her cousin to come to the city with her to see how a mouse should really live.
That night, the city mouse took her cousin to a big mansion. They crept into the dining room. Leftover food from a banquet was still on the table.
Just as the country mouse was going to eat his first bite of bread with honey, a cat jumped onto the table, so both mice ran to safety in a hole in the wall. The city mouse told her cousin that the cat would go away soon, and they'd be safe as long as the dog didn't come in the room. Shocked, the country mouse told his cousin that she could eat her feast in the mansion, but the country mouse returned to his home in the country, where he could eat his crust of bread in peace. The moral of the story is
Property and safety is better than riches and danger.
One day, a mouse was creeping through the tall grass and saw a lion sleeping in the sun.
She thought it would be fun to see a long distance, so she crept up the lion's back to get a better view.
The mouse's little feet tickled the lion and woke him up.
He snatched the mouse up with his claws and dangled her by her tail in front of his nose.
The lion roared, "How dare you interrupt my nap? I will eat you for my next meal."
The mouse cried, "Oh, please don't eat me. Let me go. I promise that one day I will help you in return."
The lion replied, "Impossible," and let the mouse go.
A little later on, the lion was caught on a trap set by some hunters.
No matter how hard the lion tried, he could not get out of the net.
When the mouse heard the lion's cries, she remembered her promise and hurried to help the lion.
She quickly gnawed through the rope until the hole was big enough for the lion to escape.
The mouse reminded the lion, there are times when even a little mouse can help a lion. The moral of the story is, even the strongest can sometimes use the help of the smallest.
Ready, sing.
Make new friends and keep the old. One is shorter, the other's old. The circle is round, it has no end. That's how long I want to be your friend. Make new friends and keep the old. Make new friends and keep the old. The circle is round and it has no end. The circle is round and it has no end. That's how long I want to be your friend. Sing a song of friendship, a happy song of friendship. If a promise you have made and you come to someone's aid, you will have the debt repaid. Learn this fable if you're able. Sing a song of friendship, a jolly song of friendship. Whether you are short or tall, whether you are big or small, summer, winter, spring or fall, be a friend to one and all. Be a friend, true to the end. Be a friend. Every day, a shepherd asked his son to take their sheep out to the pasture and watch them very carefully.
If the boy saw a wolf, the father told his son to shout loudly so the whole village would come help him scare the wolf away.
The boy got very lonely and bored, sitting in the meadow every day by himself.
One day he wished that a wolf would come so something exciting would happen.
Then the boy had an idea. He cried, "Wolf," very loudly, and all the people from the village came running to the meadow to help him.
But when they got there, there was no wolf anywhere. They went home very angry.
That's right. The boy promised his father that he would never play such a trick again.
But a few days later, the boy got lonely and bored, sitting in the meadow by himself again. He decided to cry out, "Wolf," very loudly, and all the people from the village came running to help him.
But when they got there, there was no wolf anywhere. The boy tried to explain that the wolf had really been there this time, But they didn't believe him. They went home very angry.
The next day, when the boy took the sheep to the meadow, he saw a wolf in the distance. And the boy shouted, "Wolf, wolf," but no one came to help him. The wolf came closer and took one of the sheep away into the forest.
The moral of the story is, no one believes a liar.
While a milkmaid was walking down the road and balancing a bucket of sweet fresh milk on her head, she started daydreaming about her future plans.
She thought that the milk could give her plenty of cream that she could churn into butter, and then she could take the butter to the market.
After she sells the butter, she could buy a dozen eggs, and then soon she could have a dozen chickens running around the yard.
Then she could sell the chickens and use the money to buy herself a green dress to wear to the summer fair. When the miller's son asked her to dance at the summer fair, she would say no. But as she tossed her head to demonstrate, the wooden bucket fell to the ground and the milk spilled out.
The milkmaid was left with nothing. No dress, no chickens, no eggs, no butter, and not even the milk she had started with.
The moral of this story is, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Before they hatch, before they hatch, before they hatch.
A jealous fox invited her neighbor, the stork, to come over for dinner.
When the stork arrived, the fox served her thin broth in a shallow bowl.
The stork could barely wet the tip of her long bill while the fox lapped up all of her broth easily.
The stork did not complain, but then she invited the fox over for dinner the following day.
The next day, the stork served the fox some fish soup in a tall glass jar with a narrow neck.
This time, the fox could only lick a few drops of soup from the edge of the tall jar, while the stork drank all of her soup easily.
The fox became angry that she couldn't eat all of the soup.
The stork replied that she thought the fox would enjoy this fish soup as much as she enjoyed the thin broth the fox had made for her. The moral of the story is,
do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
A dog carrying a bone looked over the edge of the bridge and saw his own reflection in the water below.
He thought to himself that the dog in the reflection has a bone that is bigger and juicier and full of meat. I really want that bone.
The dog started to make a plan. He thought, if I bark loud enough, maybe that will scare the dog so he would drop his bone and run away.
But as the dog opened his mouth to bark, his own bone fell into the water, so the dog was left with nothing.
The moral of the story is,
don't give up for what you feel, for what isn't.
I'm grateful for sports.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for sleep.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for friends.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for family.
I've got a gratitude attitude. I've got a gratitude attitude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got a gratitude attitude. I've got a gratitude attitude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for my teachers.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for love.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for food.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
I've got a gratitude attitude. I've got a gratitude attitude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got a gratitude attitude. I've got a gratitude attitude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for shoes.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for my house.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for my dog.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for football.
I've got a gratitude attitude. I've got a gratitude attitude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got a gratitude attitude. I've got a gratitude attitude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gratitude.
The north wind boasted that he was stronger than the sun, stars, rain, and snow, because he could blow strong winds that blasted shingles off of roofs and turned streams into ice.
The sun replied that she was even stronger than the north wind.
After the north wind laughed, the sun challenged the north wind to a test. Each of them would try to make a traveler take off her coat to show which of them was strong.
The north wind howled blasts of cold air toward the traveler, but as the winds got colder and colder, the traveler wrapped her coat tighter around herself to stop from shivering.
Then the sun sent warm beams of light towards the traveler. As the sunshine got warmer and warmer, the traveler pushed off her coat off her shoulders, took off her hat, wiped the sweat from her forehead, and finally took off her coat.
Then she laid down to rest in the shade of a nearby tree. The moral of the story is,
Gentle persuasion succeeds where force fails. Every time it rains, I wonder why. It makes me
We sang that morals can be fun to learn whether you are young or old.
In other words, we should all
never stop learning. Never stop learning. Never stop growing. Never stop seeking the brightest star. Never stop moving from where you are. Never stop trying. Never stop reaching. Never stop doing what you can do. Keep yourself going your whole life through. Children are the only ones who should learn and grow. All of us have so much to learn. There's so
Thank you very much. One more hand for Mrs. Hart and the students. Parents, I would like to remind you, if you can stay put while we release the students. The doors are locked, so we want to make sure the kids get in there before students get in there to pick up or before parents get in there to pick up their students. So students, second grade row 1, please stand. Second grade row 1, please stand. Go ahead and go. Jay, go ahead and go, bud. Second grade row 2, stand, do not move. Second grade row 2. Go ahead and go, bud. Second grade row 3, please stand. Stay put. Second grade row 3, go ahead and go. Go ahead and go. Second grade row 4. Second grade row 4, go ahead and go.